tips I'd like to give you with this project. The first is that, as you know, the pattern involves 12 different Sunbonnet Sues in different positions doing different things. 6 of them are facing towards the left and 6 of them are facing towards the right. And you will see in the patterns that there are slight changes, in the position of the shoes, the arms, depending on what the Sues are doing. But basically, the pieces for the Sunbonnet Sue are pretty much the same. In some of the patterns I noticed that I drew something that was a little bit off, but you could use the same basic template for all of your Sues, just reverse them for the ones looking in the opposite direction. So in theory you could go ahead and start preparing your Sues for the year. They all have 2 shoes. They're a dress with the sleeve in the hand, an apron, and the bonnet. In some cases, you can see the 2 arms, like here and here. And then in other cases, we assume that the arm is down, like towards her side, so you don't see it. So you could start preparing the pieces if you want. You could start preparing them ahead of time. So that's the first tip if you want to do that. The second is that there are, in all of the, or I guess in almost all of the blocks, there are parts where there's some very, very small pieces, and the pattern will tell you if it's suggested to embroider them. But one of the things that I thought would be fun for my own project is with the bonnet. I decided that here I would use a piece of ribbon. And the suggestion is to either embroider it or use ribbon and a button here or a yo-yo. And so what I've decided for mine is that I will be preparing mine with ribbon, and what I decided to do was to just, with some embroidery floss, run a little stitch through it to hold it down. And then when I applique it, I will just turn these down and applique it like this. And that will help. And I think I'm going to do this with all of mine. I might choose to use a button on some of them, but this was one of the suggestions that I've had. And so in this case, for example, here we have a little yo-yo. I used a 2-inch circle for this yo-yo. So by the time you turn it under the edges and make the yo-yo, it's about 3/4 of an inch. And I think that will make for a really cute block. So that's my tip for all of the blocks as you get started on this project.